thing is, when I went to that stadium, we went to Limby Stadium. I think it was Mali, Gambia, and the person that was supposed to interview the players after the game was supposed to give him 1 or 2 questions, and he wasn't there. So someone said, "Well, who speaks English here? Who can speak to BISSOUMA?" Someone just pat me in the back and said, "Do you want to interview BISSOUMA?" I said, yeah. Am I going to say no? Am I going to say no? I'll do it. So they gave me like 45 minutes to think of a couple questions, and then I was like, okay, no worries. So went in, and I think one of the first post-match interviews I've ever done.
Ayo my people, it's your boy Monti here, and welcome back to another episode of Vibe with Monti. And as you can see today, I'm joined with the lovely Ahmed. You hear me? All the way from Egypt. You feel me?
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, bro.
My name is Ahmed Osman. Ahmed and I live in Egypt. Different names, but yeah, I'm a social media editor. But I'm back at university, so I'm doing a lot of things freelance. But yeah.
Of course, man. Love to have you on the show.
Pleasure being here, man. Thanks for having me, Monty.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to start off, with what we spoke about today and what early stuff that happened today in the first encounters. Yeah. So obviously, I told lovely Ahmed about our late policy and our carding system. Yeah. And he said, no worries. First of all, he was surprised. And then I was like, cool, be on time, innit? No one's been late this year so far. You get me? Let's keep that up, innit? And then Ahmed messages me half an hour before we start recording. And I'm like, I come at the train station, yeah? As I come at the train station, go on my phone, ping, Ahmed, I'm already here, bro. I'm like, damn.
I'm good with timings.
This guy didn't want to get carded today, no fines.
I'll tell you one thing about me, and I think I take this from my dad. I cannot take hits on my bank account for no reason. I feel you. So even if it's for charity or whatever with the card system, you know, I had to come in on time, you know. And first impressions as well, you know.
Of course. Listen, I appreciate it. A lot of guests need to take a leaf out of his book, innit? For sure.
Yeah, we know which guests.
Anyways, I think you already know what's gonna happen now, and if you've done your research, you know what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, go on.
I've went through your Twitter, like always. Okay. I did this with every guest, and I was pleasantly surprised to find out that your Twitter, you've had it since 2011. Yeah, the same account. But I noticed you was active like 2012, 13, 14 times, innit? I was looking. I was like, right, there's gonna be juicy content today. I'm looking.
There's a lot of things I don't know what I said. So if I knew he was looking through my Twitter, I would have made sure I deleted a few things.
Of course.
But this is the surprise aspect.
Of course, it's a surprise. You know what's so funny? The oldest tweet I found, if I've got it, the oldest tweet, I'll put it up as well on the screen. Has Rita Ora got Twitter? Need to express my love for her. Tweeted 21st 06/2012.
Oh dear. Is that 10 years ago, right? This is
it's pretty much.
So I'm 25 now. Okay. So I would have been 15. So that kind of justifies. Or if you're listening, my DMs are open. Listen. I think it's one of those things. It's one of those boy crushes.
Yeah. Of course, man. Mine was Megan Fox. I can't lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was a big Megan Fox girl.
I wasn't far away from Megan Fox. Yeah, I appreciate that one.
Another tweet was, "Why is it snowing? It's March." For fuck's sake. And one thing I've noticed as well, Twitter from BlackBerry. You had BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Cultured.
That was the good days.
Of course,
the good
man.
days. BBM.
BBM, of course.
I don't know why they cancelled that. It was a big deal, you know.
I know it was a massive deal, but yeah, snowing in March.
March is my birthday, so
is it?
Yeah, I have mid March is my birthday. I think that's why I was so annoyed, because I wanted to probably had a motive or something, and snowing was not happening.
You know what's so funny? We both have this birthday on the same month, and I think ours is like maybe a week apart.
Yeah, mine's on the 17th.
And mine's on the 9th.
Yeah. So you have yours before me?
Yeah.
Should have a joint birthday party in the middle.
Yeah, man, we might as well. Yeah, me. Monti x Ahmed. Another tweet. This one's from 2014, and I noticed you upgraded. You went from BlackBerry to iPhone.
Exactly. That's when BBM was starting to get a bit, it's going down. So
of course. You tweeted when your usual barber is busy and the shit new barber looks at you.
Oh, this is actually a funny story. So I used to go to a black barber's. Not anymore. I grow my hair now.
Yeah, of course.
But when I used to go to a black barber's and there was always a good one. There was a bad one. Your regulars, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Black haircut problems. Anyway, so I was always sit down and I've got my eye on the one I want.
Yeah.
And he's my boy. And then the shit one always looks at me. He's like, and I look the other way, like.
Yeah, and he's always got the empty
It
chair.
doesn't, yeah. And then he's like, oh, do you want to cut? I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, I just kind of agreed with him already, so. But yeah, that's one of my big problems back in the day, you know?
I feel you. Another 2014 tweet. I was loved when I typed in your @ and keywords and I saw the abundance I had.
Yeah.
Because my last guest, so when you guys are watching it, Omar, his Twitter, fam, all of them, all tweets are gone. Deleted,
Really?
all of them. I think the oldest tweet I found was like 2020.
Smart guy.
I was like, nah, man.
I'm not smart.
I was like, nah, man, ruining my shit. Like, but here's another tweet from 2014. I think this is August 2014. Yeah, all you Arsenal fans suddenly up Giroud's ass. Nah, yeah, wait, wasn't he shit? Fake. Hashtag fake. Hashtag AFC.
I'm still not a big fan of Giroud, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. No, I'm not.
You know what's so funny? I had this conversation last week here. When Giroud retires and like his predominant viewers, so like our generation, once we're like really old, yeah, the younger generation, like if they saw comps of Giroud, you'd think he's world class.
Anyone's world class in comps, like
but his accolades, Champions League, Europa League, Premier League, World Cup,
that scorpion kick that he scored
Puskas Award,
yeah,
brother.
It is, but you can't always see things like that. There's a bigger picture, but I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Though. I get what you mean.
We know Giroud is a bum, but they don't know that. They don't know.
They'll never know.
They'll never know.
We can just get them full games of him of masterclasses versus Norwich.
Oh my god! Remember, I think it was him that denied Özil the assist record in the Prem.
Oh really?
Yeah. I think it was the year they was going for the league, 2016, and then there was like I think it was like I don't know 13 games in a row where he failed to score.
Is that the one versus? So the award is held by Henry. Is it Henry?
Yeah, Henry has the assist record.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's mad, man. Özil was ahead of the curve, man, and yeah, man, Giroud's
He's not that good. Yeah, I still think Giroud should never have got that move to Arsenal.
Really?
Yeah, but French connections, right? So
yeah, but I feel like when he was at Montpellier, he won the league on that year. The move to Arsenal, and everyone thought progression, like it's a step up in it. And I think at the time, Giroud now, I think he's got better with age.
Yeah.
So I think like he's learned all his bad experiences from Arsenal, went to Chelsea, bagged a lot of goals for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And then now that he's at Milan, are you not seeing what he's doing?
I think he's a goal scorer that suits other leagues, not the Premier League.
Yeah, true.
He's too busy doing his hair and stuff, and you need proper like grinders.
To be fair, Arsenal would love him. Arsenal fans would love him back now.
Would they?
That he's a better version of Lacazette, 100%. Lacazette, yeah, is a bomb. I've never seen 50 million.
He's degraded big time. I remember him scoring, 30 goals a season?
In league. Oh, yeah. Lyon side.
That was a big deal. Fekir, it was a good Lyon side.
Speaking of Arsenal, this is a more recent tweet. I think it was...
Oh, we'll still go with the tweets. Great.
We've got a load of tweets. But yeah, you quoted the Rwandan president.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, I'll put it up on the screen again. But the Rwandan president said, "What? It's football. It's a loss of Arsenal to Brentford. Brentford deserved the win, and they did. The game itself aside, Arsenal and the fans don't deserve to be kind and don't deserve this treatment. Blah blah." I say this as one big fan for Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, and then you tweeted saying, "Lol, Arsenal got the president of Rwanda on his knees."
I was very surprised. The first time I ever seen something like that, where a president's gone, "I've actually fuck this. I've had enough of this. Let me tweet now."
No one's visiting Rwanda, innit?
Exactly. I got a lot of friends, African journalist friends from Rwanda, and I talked about this all the time. I always tell them I'm surprised the Rwanda president does that. He said Rwanda president is very outspoken. He always says how he feels. So maybe they need to fix up.
I like that, you know. Boris Johnson needs to be a bit more outspoken. Instead of having parties,
he's only outspoken in parties.
Yeah, I think
not in formal areas.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible. But let's find another one. This one. I know this is gonna be a touchy one, innit? But here you go. No words. So much pain. I feel numb. These players overcame fatigue, injuries, African giants in every knockout stage. They deserve this title. They are still champions in my eyes. Head up, you're an Algerian, you're a fighter.
You're Egyptian.
You're an Egyptian. My bad. I'm so sorry.
You can't mix up Egypt and Algeria.
I'm so sorry. I had a lot of concentration. My bad.
No, you're fine.
Egyptians. Yeah, head up, you're an Egyptian, you're a fighter.
Yeah.
The final.
Yeah. I knew you were going to bring out that tweet. That tweet actually is probably the most emotional tweet I think I've ever written. Because I think watching a team battle all those injuries, the teams they've played, and just everything they've gone through in that tournament, and not to win it was heartbreaking. And I think it's harder for them than us, but it was still incredibly painful. So even when I'm writing it, I've got my siblings kind of their hand in their knees, my mum's crying in the corner, and I'm just tweeting, and I think that's the thing with Egypt in any AFCON tournament. We're invested so much.
Yeah, of course, man. Rightly so. It's your country, innit? You get me? You need to.
I was actually just to clarify, that tweet was very true. So
I feel you sometimes, but onto a more positive note, during AFCON, I've got this tweet up here again. Myself and the man of the match. BISSOUMA. Yeah. How'd you feel, man?
Yeah, it's part of the experience. The funny thing is, when I went to that stadium, we went to Limby Stadium. I think it was Mali, Gambia, and the person that was supposed to interview the players after the game was supposed to give him 1 or 2 questions, and he wasn't there. So someone said, "Well, who speaks English here? Who can speak to BISSOUMA?" Someone just pat me in the back and said, "Do you want to interview BISSOUMA?" I said, yeah. Am I going to say no? Am I going to say no? I'll do it. So they gave me like 45 minutes to think of a couple questions, and then I was like, okay, no worries. So went in, and I think one of the first post-match interviews I've ever done.
That is great.
He's a great guy, by the way. Lovely guy.
The picture, I just want to remind you of this picture, man. This is an amazing.
It is.
Come on, man.
I said I was talking to my mum, and she was saying that. Do you know what? I'm so proud of you. I wanna frame it and put it in your room. And you know how Arab mums are very, very proud. So
of course.
It was a spontaneous thing, and it wasn't just him. I think it was who else? We had 2 other players, and Thomas Satfet, the manager of Gambia. So. Yeah, amazing moment for me and something I can build on, hopefully.
Of course. Another interview that he done. You know where I'm going with this one, don't you? Another one for the memories. The ceiling for the dreams keeps getting higher and higher. Adebayo!
Yeah, that was good. It's something grace to Allah that I get to, and thanks to Allah that I always have the opportunity to do things like this. You know, he's a lovely guy. I'll say this again. A lot of people don't see the person behind the legend. You know, there was a lot of legends in that room. I remember I had Emmanuel Menike next to me, obviously Nigerian legend. Boalia. There was so many people in that room that I was Rigobert Song. He was having a good time as well. I won't state what he was doing, but he was having a good time. And so obviously we had to interview them for the after the draw, for the World Cup draw. And we just got some content with them, and could it be better? It's lovely guys.
That's an amazing picture. The back shot where
I didn't know that picture was being taken.
Really?
So we're not allowed to take pictures with the players. Because it's obviously I wouldn't do it anyway, but we're not allowed to. So I was actually sat down asking him questions, and my colleague was the one that took pictures behind me. So he was like, I said, I wish I could take a picture of Adebayo, and he went, there you go. And I said, oh, okay, that's good.
That is hard.
So it was an element of surprise that
was a great picture. Like seeing you and then seeing him in front of you.
Exactly, and the way it was taken as well. But that's my colleague, my another social media editor. So. They know how to take pictures. They know how to take pictures.
They know. But I think that's all your tweets there. But on to AFCON. Obviously, like you said, and obviously people may have picked up on it. You were actually there. Yeah. So obviously AFCON was a couple weeks ago from now, where the day of recording. But how was it? How was the experience?
So so a few years ago, almost a couple of years ago, I used to work with cafes to manage the social media accounts, or I used to manage whatever went out with a few other people, and when I left because of COVID and all of that, I decided to go back to London to finish university. So when I did, I never thought I would come back again, or maybe as soon as I finish, I'll come back. So I got the call around just before January, and they said, well, we're looking for someone to do freelance. Would you want to come on? And I said, yeah, as long as it suits your uni. Perfect date with uni. Like literally, the day I come back is the day that I'm back at uni. So it was almost like a message saying go on and do it. So yeah, I went over there. Big team, obviously, for the social media, for the CAF, and it was amazing. We were supposed to stay in a city called Limbe, but it was very dangerous over there. They had a bit of a civil war. Okay. Danger, army, all that kind of stuff. All the stuff that you associate with Africa. And so yeah, we had to stay in Douala with the CAF officials. 5-star hotel. I'm not complaining.
That is amazing.
I'm not complaining. So yeah, we stayed there. We went to the games and came back.
Okay.
But it was better than you could ever imagine, I think.
If you was a content creator yourself, like on the side, would they allow you to record content in and around the facilities that you're going to?
So our job in general was everyone, each team has a social media editor, a coordinator, and a film guy and a card guy. So whenever someone would do something, they would go to the room and they would edit it as quick as they could. Each stadium had that. Each city had that. So we obviously had a colleague. I had 2 other people. We're required to film and take footage of whatever we see in the city that we want to post. So it could be guys playing in football in a small pitch in the sand. You know, things that make Africa great, or a view or whatever. But obviously, with that happening, we couldn't stay at Limbe, so we had to go back to Douala. So that limited what we could do. So we could only do stadium stuff. The other guys could. We couldn't film obviously at the hotel with the guys, and there was private time with players and stuff like that. Of course. But yeah, anything in the stadium, we have all access everywhere. So changing rooms, pitch. I could go up with the fans if I wanted to. I could go into
the press box.
Yeah, so anywhere we could find some good content. You know?
Of course. That is amazing. I can't lie, because I was obviously following this AFCON like I always do. Like AFCON for me is that's one tournament where I want to be a part of, in terms of whether it's a spectator, whether it's something content creating, whether it's seeing Somalia progress, whether it's whatever, like even go to a game, for example. But nah, like when I obviously, for those that don't know, me and Ahmed met each other on Twitter Spaces.
Yes.
So obviously, like me following the tournament, what Twitter Space was it?
I think we did. I think I joined a space. I think you had Salad with you, so. And you have. I think it wasn't quarterfinal. I think it was last 16.
Yeah, because he was back. Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, and he was trying to slander, and obviously Egypt went.
I went in. It was completely by chance. I was just looking for spaces. I just wanted to vibe on someone talking about the AFCON, and I saw your space, and you were talking about how Egypt was just a jammy team and lucky, and I heard Salad say that. I was like, okay, well, I can't just listen to this and not get involved. So I went on, and me and Salad had a shouting match, but we wasn't really a shouting match, but we were debating. And then he said, well, we were going to lose the next game against Morocco,
but that never happened.
And they said you're going to lose against Cameroon.
No, that never happened.
But yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun.
Nah, because I thought, you get me, like this AFCON, the fact that it's now been streamed everywhere, broadcasted in the UK by Sky, and then obviously
very poorly, by the way.
It was very poorly. It was, and we'll touch on that in a minute. But the fact that it was also broadcasted by BBC on only the final, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. I think because of the extra coverage, I've said, you know what? Let me take it upon myself and look at the minute. Like, let me do my own due diligence and like look up every single team, look at the background, look at the history of the teams the countries that are competing.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you saying obviously like the way Sky executed the broadcasting, I've had a conversation with a few people, and I'm gonna bring this up now. A lot of people credit Sky for actually broadcasting it, especially how late notice it was, isn't it? That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, they're saying you can't take that away from Sky, because previously, like for example, 2019 one, I was watching it through streams. I'll be real. Like
it was on Eurosport.
Yeah. But the worst thing is back then. I remember 2019. I wasn't. What do you call it? I wasn't in a place where I could access.
Of course.
Like on my TV, for example, or whatever. So I literally stream on my laptop and just watch every game like how it was. Then obviously Sky announced in late December, that they're broadcasting this year's AFCON, and I was like, oh, okay, this is hope. Like I'm expecting, half time, post match, pre match, and you would think because there's a lot of African legends that played Premier League football, a lot of them would have volunteered. Because I remember Yaya Toure came out and said that no one's come to him to do post-match, pre-match.
Well, he did with the BBC.
Eventually. But in the beginning part of the tournament, that wasn't there. So I was like, okay, cool. But it was very poorly executed. The commentators as well, they didn't seem interested in the beginning. I think
the Sky Sports ones, I thought they weren't that bad. I thought the BBC ones were really boring.
Nah, I think
Guy Mowbray as well. Like it's just simple things you could learn. Like Mo Salah, for example, he goes down and he thanks God. He does sujood. Oh, he's kissing the ground. That I could swear here because I saw radio. That shit pisses me off so much. Do your education. You could do it with any other English player. You know what? Like if any English player does something specific to religion or to heritage or tradition, exactly.
Yeah.
So do your. Well, he did it at the end, but you should have done that at the beginning. You know.
Yeah, I think what's also is the ignorance of like the British media. And I think they think that they know it all. Like, oh, we don't need to. Or our assumption is pretty much very accurate anyways, and I think that's very poor. And also you see Sky, do you know how they do like the match highlights they put it on their YouTube? I don't know if you've watched any of their highlights in it. I'm a weird person. I watch the full game and then the highlights because I'm always interested what they put in. So I think it was for every group game and round 16 and quarters, they would crop the parts from the stream. So the actual live broadcast, they would crop it and they won't sync the audio in. So I felt like it was two separate files. So the commentator, I think it was, they would score, but the commentator is so delayed.
It's delayed, yeah.
And then oh my God, he scored, but he's already walking
he's already
towards...
celebrating,
celebrating.
You know what that is? And I'll tell you what that is. That's them putting their beginner video editor on the African Nations because they have no respect for it. And just to state, the BBC didn't broadcast AFCON. They had it on the BBC iPlayer, which is so you couldn't go on BBC One or go or BBC Two or BBC Three or whatever. You had to watch it on BBC iPlayer. If you didn't have BBC iPlayer, you couldn't watch it. So they might go, it's actually more accessible for everyone. Well, you could have had it on both. You know?
Yeah, true. I remember like people were saying like the energy that Copa America gets, for example, compared to what AFCON gets is very disrespectful. I also saw a point where obviously the Club World Cup is happening as we speak, and one of the coaches, I'm not too sure of the team, but one of the coaches from the African teams that are in there.
Oh, you're talking about Pitsu.
And he was talking about Palmeiras and how they are all fit, and like there's just small minute things, and even like to the allocation of teams that get to qualify for a World Cup, how they have it's more of a majority for them. And
Chelsea are European champions, right? They go through straight to the semi-finals, which doesn't make sense because if they're the best team, then they should easily get past the quarterfinals, right?
Yeah.
So why do Al Ahly have to? Al Ahly obviously the African representation, and I'm not an Ahly fan. If anything, I lean towards the Zamalek side more. But I still think it's unfair. You know, Palmeiras, they had a day's rest. They go straight into the game. Ahly have to play one game and then 1 day's rest, and then they go straight to the other game, which isn't fair. Which is disrespect to African football in general. And you mentioned the manager, BISSOUMA. He's a very, very outspoken individual. He say how he feels, and it's something that needs to change. And as long as we keep allowing them to do this to African football, they'll keep doing it.
I think we as people also have to speak up a lot. Like, you get me? I think for a long time we've just accepted things for what they are.
It's not just Africa. It's look at the situation with Kurt Zuma a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my God. Oh, that is annoying.
That's painful for me.
You know, the fine that he received like that is the biggest fine in terms of like what he done. And first of all, before people comment down or Cliff or whatever say, "Oh, Monti is agreeing what Zuma did," no, I'm not agreeing what he did. What he did was terrible. Yeah, you shouldn't do what he done. It was disgusting. However, for someone I'm not even gonna give them the credit of naming them. For someone, and they know who they are, to go on BBC Breakfast, yeah, and say it's worse than racism, and then for the press to not. Like, for example, Dan Walker was interviewing him. You could have brought up and said, "What do you mean by that?" Nah, what do you mean? But it's the fact that they say it and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we understand. Yeah, I'm with you." They go to the next question. And then they're interviewing, I remember they interviewed Antonio and said, "Oh, what do you think?" And it's like, this has now become a talking point. It's like, "Oh, let's get something, let's clip something."
Yeah.
Ooh. But what actually happened was, a man got fined £250,000. I have never seen someone racially abuse someone, get caught and get fined at least that amount.
The money's okay. The money's. I feel like that's fine in terms of what he did, but compared to other things,
they're not consistent. Like Glenn Kamara was racially abused in a European game. I know it's two different associations, but everyone should be on the same hymn sheet. It doesn't matter. He was a victim of racial abuse. He got fined and got a suspension for walking off.
Yeah.
But the player also, like, why are you? Like, I don't understand. They're saying say no to racism. They're saying kick it out.
Those are just wallpapers.
No, so it's horrible.
It's basically to appease the African,
horrible.
The black community, which is, and then another thing with Kurt Zuma, he's Muslim. So that it's kind of like hitting two birds with one stone, really.
Horrible.
So it's kind of okay. Well, let's use that against him. Listen, what he did was unacceptable, and I was shocked seeing it. I've got two cats on myself. I would never ever even dream of doing.
My cousins have cats, and I'm terrified of them. So I could never do what he did. I'm running them away.
Yeah.
Get me? What they've done, in my opinion, is they've shown their hand. Like, you've now established that someone got found guilty of animal cruelty, and obviously it was unacceptable for what he did. People are calling for him to get sacked on national radio.
Yeah.
People are calling for him to for his contracts to be terminated by the club on national TV. People are saying this is worse than racism on national TV. Adidas even came out and terminated Zuma's sponsorship with them, so he's no longer an Adidas. Yeah, he's no longer an Adidas athlete. That's also, he got fined £250,000. Cool. So these 5 things, we've now seen their hand. We've now seen how swift they are in reacting to this. I can't wait. And the worst thing is, we live in a very sad world. The fact that I'm able to say when someone gets racially abused, because it's bound to happen. We saw what happened with Elanga. It happens all the time. We saw what happened when he missed the penalty against Middlesbrough. It was hounded. Yeah. So I can't wait to see what happens when someone gets caught and are found guilty of racial abuse. Because if they don't act in the same way or minimum, I'm not asking for £1 million. I'm not asking for the craziest thing. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we know how people are. We know how this society is. We know how the British media are as well. Cool. If they don't act the same way or something close to this, remotely close,
they've exposed themselves.
They've exposed themselves. So now we know what you're on. We know that the only 2 things you might care about is Super League and animal cruelty.
Exactly.
What the hell?
Well, they always do it with the small fish. Like, look at some of the Adidas athletes right now. Lionel Messi, Mohamed Salah. If they do that, you've got to hold them accountable as well. That means cancel their footwear contract or something on that level. You know.
I don't understand.
But it's always the small fish.
I don't understand. It's not even forget the small fish. Forget this whole small fish idea, because he's a Premier League player. He's a Champions League winner. He's a former Chelsea player. He plays for West Ham, who are meant to be the top team in, like, a big team in the Premier League. So this is a recognisable individual. We all know of him.
Absolutely.
So the way you've dealt with this situation, fair enough, he deserves the punishment that he gets in terms of it's wrong. Like, if you've set the president and saying that is the punishment you get, fair enough. But you see with racism, the fact that you man are able to swipe under the carpet, you have to why are you investigating racial abuse? Like, why? Like, did you not see? Was it last season or season before, where when Glenn Kamara got racially abused, and then like UEFA came out and was like, "Oh, we have to investigate. This might take up to 10 days."
Yeah, and nothing happened. They didn't ban the team from.
They didn't ban from UEFA competition.
They banned fans coming into the stadium. They didn't ban the team.
Oh, that brings me on to the Hungarian fans. Remember against England?
Same thing. Montenegro as well. Same thing. Oh my
God. And yeah, what's happening to these countries? You know, you need to start banning countries from entering tournaments. You need to ban them. Because once something severe like that happens, they'll look at themselves and say, rah, we can't.
Do you know what the problem with that is with UEFA?
Yeah, go on.
Is that they lose money. And why do they exist? And why do they do all of this? It's to make money.
There's money. They even added that Europa Conference League for money. It was never needed.
How can we make more profit? Okay, well, let's just bring all the teams that are struggling to make ends meet in the middle table and just come and join the Conference League.
That is horrible. Like.
Shout out to Tottenham Hotspur. Anyway.
I'm dead. But nah, I'm just shocked. But going back to AFCON, I told you to do homework, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Why did half of the homework?
No, that's fine. Yeah, it was late notice. I gotta be honest with that.
That's fine. That's cool.
And I also want to see if we have this. So for those that don't know, obviously, I told Ahmed, lovely Ahmed, to do a team in the tournament for AFCON.
Yeah.
So
as I'm no longer in contract with CAF, or I can now give my own unbiased opinion. Yeah, go on. So you go first then.
So I'll go first.
Let's do each line of each line first.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper.
I think we all agreed on this.
Yeah.
Gabaski.
Gabaski,
there you go. Okay, I was about to say I'm about to leave the studio.
Gabaski.
You go on.
I think before we even move on, he's had an amazing tournament.
Yeah.
Outstanding. The fact that they gave it to Mendy, I was so.
Even Mendy said I couldn't. He's not. I'm not the goalkeeper of the tournament.
It's Gabaski. The amount of he even saved a penalty in normal time in the final. Like that, if Monti had scored that, would have changed the whole game.
With a little bit of help from Salah, who told him where he's going.
Yeah, and you see Monti coming. You see Monti saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go left."
By the way, that's the worst mistake you could ever make as a penalty taker. If you go in and you go into the mind games of it, you lose focus straight away.
It's horrible.
You look away, you just hit your penalty. That's it.
And he went straight down the middle because he thought, that was funny. But now he's
had an amazing tournament. Listen, I know I'm a governor myself because I'm a big Zamalek fan, or I was a childhood Zamalek fan. So he plays for Zamalek. Okay. He's on and off as the number one goalkeeper. But one thing that he's amazing at is saving penalties.
Of course.
He's an expert. But even before the tournament, we knew that if we went to penalties, there was a possibility that Shinawi could come off and Gabaski come on. So,
but even his performances, excluding penalty saves, outstanding. The saves that he's been pulling off this tournament.
Whilst injured, by the way.
This man has been going down every game from the quarterfinals to the final, and the fact that he's able to pull through and persevere, that just shows the character he is.
There's a picture of him with his thigh fully bruised. It's purple. Really? It's like a big gash on his. I'm
gonna try to find that.
I'll send it to you, and you can put it on the screen.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the screen as well.
But yeah, that shows how much pain he was playing in. But yeah, absolutely. I think one of the best goalkeeping performances we've had in Africa at least for the last 20 years. Unbelievable.
Before we move on, a lot of people are saying that he has earned a move to Europe.
He won't get that move. Zamalek won't let him go. That's the thing with a lot of people talk about why Egyptian league is so powerful, why we keep creating so many good players, and are we amazing in the competition? It's because we don't let our players go to Europe. Right. So they always Europe. But I doubt he'll go. But I think if he'll ever go, he'll go to the Gulf. He won't go. He'll go to UAE or Qatar. That makes sense. But he has a dream of going. If Zamalek can find a suitor, then they'll possibly.
And I saw his age. His age, that's probably prime for goalkeeping.
Yeah.
I think he's 33 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Around the age.
That is prime time
exactly,
for goalkeepers. Prime time for goalkeepers. That is amazing.
He would have opened a few eyes. 100%. There's a lot of scouts at AFCON. So
I feel you.
Let's hope so.
Definitely caught my eye. Okay, we'll do right back.
Okay.
I think this is where we might differ.
I think we have to say one.
I don't know. So I went with Kabore.
Same here.
Really?
Yeah.
Calm.
Great minds to collide. Great minds to collide.
I was thinking either him or Hakimi, but I thought, nah.
Hakimi was phenomenal, by the way, in that tournament.
He had a great tournament, but
Kabore was unreal.
Solid. Oh my.
Really, really good.
I think he's even I was doing the stat comparison. I think he has 2 assists and Hakimi has 1. And like even I think his overall play is just amazing.
He's fine margins, but he's got a huge future. Let's just hope he's given a chance.
100%. So we got the 2 centre backs. You go first this time. Say both centre backs.
Koulibaly.
Yes.
I think you have to have him because he's won the tournament. And this is not being biased, but Ahmed and I.
You know what? Yeah.
If you don't have him on, we have issues. We have issues.
Wait. Obviously, I have Koulibaly as well. So before we move on, Koulibaly, amazing tournament. I think he had an exceptional final. Like the way he was able to just lock that defense, shore it up. I think him and Diallo had great performances.
Yeah.
But for me, Koulibaly just stand like. Napoli have a great defender. You get me? That's and Senegal have a great defender. I put Tapsoba, Burkina Faso. I was going to put him.
He was my second choice. He would have been.
It was a toss up, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I've watched both of them fairly equally, and I just edged it Tapsoba because of how important he was to that Burkina Faso side, and I don't think there was a suitable replacement for him had he been injured and stuff in it.
That's fair.
So I thought, you know what? On that note, I'll just tip it up. But
it's an absolute crime you don't have Abdelminam though. And let me tell you why.
He was very close. Very close.
Not close enough apparently.
No,
but okay. I would have. Yeah, Mohamed Abdelminam was unreal.
Go ahead.
Like I think I have one stat for Koulibaly. He's got more accurate long balls than anyone else. He's got 46, which is insane. He's very, very good passer, so that's why he's one of the elites in Europe.
Of course.
But yeah, we're gonna beef after this.
No. Listen. It was very close. Him and Tapsoba.
All right,
I gave
cool.
Tapsoba.
Midfield.
No, left back.
Left back. Oh, you know who I'm gonna choose, right?
I already know. I've got Fatul.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah, you saw him. I told you, watch out for him, right?
Ever since I proper watched him. Oh, he's been amazing.
He's unreal. He's very, very good player.
Oh, that performance in the final as well, great. No, semi-final performance, absolutely. When I saw him in the semi-final, I jumped on the space and I told you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This guy is a baller.
He's got a big future as well.
Okay, so we got midfielders. Now, I want to know how you did your 3. So it was a 4-3-3. Yeah. I want to know how you did your midfield. Did you do a 6, 8, or 10, or did you just do the best 3 midfielders?
So I've got the 3 best midfielders.
Okay, same.
So I've got 2 holding midfielders, and I've got a kind of a cam kind of drifting to the left side.
Okay, no worries. Okay, I'll go first. I put El Neni.
Yeah, me too.
Perfect.
I think you have to have him.
Oh, he's had an amazing. You see, Arsenal fans, you might need to get me respect this brother. Like,
he's the best average player you ever find.
He's the best at the basic stuff.
Exactly.
You know what's so fun? You need that sometimes in tournament football.
Yeah.
You need to keep it simple. Like,
in the beginning of the tournament, I did not like him at all. As a person, he's a very, very lovely person. As a footballer, he's incredibly frustrating. He does not know how to attack. He just passes the ball. He works so well in a Spanish team because he's just so good at the pass and move. Definitely.
He had, and even as the tournament progressed, he just grew into the tournament.
Exactly.
You see his energy, fam, his stamina. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow, he's underrated.
He's constantly when he used to play with Arsenal in the Champions League or even right now in the Europa League, his distance covered is always the top of the tournament.
I remember the reason why they broke that duck at Old Trafford was because of him. When they broke that curse that Arsenal haven't beaten United since 2004 in the Premier League at Old Trafford, it was him, man of the match performance.
There was a famous clip. Do you remember it where
he's just following
94th minute? He's still running.
He's still
sprinting.
Oh my god! I was like, wow.
If there's one thing he has, it's that
this brother's special. Like that's one attribute he definitely.
I'll tell you one thing though about him. The manager that messed him up was Arsene Wenger. He was one of the most elite players coming out of Switzerland. He was still very young, 23, 24. Yeah. And if he went to a team that allowed him to shoot from outside and be that player progressive, he would have been phenomenal. But he lost so much confidence under Arsene Wenger.
I feel you. Okay, I'm gonna do the second midfielder. I put Gana Gay.
No chance.
Really?
No chance.
Really?
No chance. Very, very average the whole tournament.
Really?
I think you put him because he's won the tournament and he's a European player.
No.
He shouldn't go anywhere near that team.
Really?
Nowhere near that team.
No.
You think so? You think he's?
I think he had an exceptional semi-final and final.
I think he was very average in the group stages, and
I think group stages in general, like a lot of like think about this. Put it this way, yeah. The teams that performed very well in the group stages were knocked out in the round of 16 or quarters.
Exactly.
So, like for example, Nigeria, 3 wins in 3,
out
of 3, but they got knocked out by Tunisia.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? Let me look at how like the latter stages where it really mattered, and in just a kind of game, it played extremely well in the semi-final and extremely well in the final. I think he had a very good game.
Okay, well, this is a whole tournament. So
You know what? Fair enough.
But I get it though. I understand where you're coming from, but there's no way I'm having because I know you're gonna have one last Senegalese guy in the striker.
No, okay. So you know what? I might as well tell you my whole midfield three.
Go on then.
So I had El Neni, Gana Gay, and Balte Traore.
Okay, I get that one. He don't think he was good. I think he was great but I don't have him.
Okay, so who's your midfield three?
I've got let's see. I've got El Neni, Ibrahim Sagare.
Okay.
Obviously, he had 2.3 key passes per 90 minutes, which was 7th in the tournament, which was really, really good, top 10.
Okay.
And he didn't even get to the quarters, semi-finals or final. And Moses Simons.
I don't. Oh no!
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I have Moses Simons.
VAR. No.
That's what's going to be controversial.
He is a left winger.
But I want him. I'm going to fit him in my team.
No. Oh, that's not fair. I would have. No.
You would have him.
No.
Who would you have had if you could fit in?
If I was doing what you're doing, I'll take out Gana Gate and put in Moses Simon.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But you agree with me though. So you agree.
I think he had a class tournament, but I also think that. He's a left winger, so he can't because the left winger that I chose was better than him.
He can work as a cap. It's fine.
No,
I think
VAR, VAR.
Well, I'll tell you this. When I was with Emenike and I was asking him about who's your best player and stuff, he said Moses Simon. This was right after the group stage.
No, of course, he had an amazing.
Adam Ayew said the same thing as all of them said the same. He was phenomenal.
No, you're not understanding. I don't take anything away from him, and he had a class tournament.
It's the wrong position. It's the wrong
position. There's unfortunately someone that played better than.
Can I just say, VAR's just checked and it's accepted it.
No, man, no. Listen, comment down, because that is
I've cheated a little bit, but I'll take it.
Cheating. What is going on?
I've cheated a little bit, but he deserves to be in the team somehow. So.
Oh my god, that was horrible. No, because now you're. Oh no.
You know I'm gonna have it, are you?
I'm not happy with that at all. Anyways, so we agreed on one, we disagreed on one, and one was your one. It's just out there downstairs, thrown away.
We'll take it down.
Listen, that is a left winger. He played left wing. We're not doing that. Okay,
cool.
Okay. Front three, I think I'll say my front three first, and then we'll come to you. So my left winger was Toko Akambi, my right winger was Mane, and my striker was Abubakar.
Don't know about that.
What's your front three?
So I got Salah, Mane, and Abubakar.
Salah?
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah? No.
Not on his goals. Look at his leadership.
No. He can't be.
Let me tell you why.
I think you're just putting it because of Egypt by
No, not at all. At all. Listen, his importance to that team reaching the final is
unequal. I hate that. Listen, I was backing Salah.
If Salah started that Egypt side, do they go to the final?
Well, he was the reason why they progressed from the quarters to the semis.
He's the reason they progressed to the finals, full stop.
I think that's no, man.
I think he deserves to be on the right wing.
So who was your left wing?
Mane.
Who's the striker?
Abubakar.
No, Tucker Camby.
No, Tucker Camby. I can't have Tucker.
No.
I'm just telling you that the main man for Cameroon was Abubakar.
Of course, that's why he's my striker.
Exactly. Main man for Senegal was Mane. Main man for
Egypt. No,
I have to take someone from Egypt. That was the reason why they reached the final. They're finalists, right?
Yeah, of course.
Who's the finalists? Egypt.
Yes.
So who's the main reason?
In my team, there are 1, 2, They're 2 Egyptians.
Okay, I have
No, three. I have Gabaski, Fatou, and El Neni.
exactly. You have to have 4. I have 4 Egyptians.
No, man. Salah can't. No,
It's debatable, but I'll tell you who else could. If I'm taking off Mane, if I'm taking off Salah, sorry, I'm putting on Moussa Barrow for Gambia.
Nah, 1 second. No,
I'm not saying too quick,
No. Wait, where's this shit gone? Where's this shit gone? Yeah, wait a second. That was
What's he doing? Oh, he's doing he's got the yellow card out.
Card. Yellow card. This is a yellow
I didn't
card.
expect that. I didn't expect that.
Nah. Horrible. Yellow.
Really?
You're holding a yellow for that.
Do you know what it is? I think it's debatable. I think it's all of them are debatable.
You had Moses Simon playing Cam when he's a left winger, and you had Mohamed Salah.
That's exactly how. That's 2 yellows now. That's a red.
No. I'm just reassuring the yellow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, that is no, man.
That's just my. Listen, I think as an Egyptian, I know his value more.
No, 100%.
Actually, we don't have 4 Egyptians. We have 5 Egyptians in this team because of Fatou,
Fatou,
Gabaski, Salah, El Neni, and
oh, you have 5. The Tapsoba and I forgot his name. How am I forgetting his name? It was a rock Egyptian centre back.
Abdelbadem.
Yeah, it was a toss up, literally.
Between.
So it could have been 4.
Well,
but Salah,
okay,
no.
I'll tell you what.
Because think about it.
Because I've got
Moses
5.
had a better tournament than him.
Yeah.
And Toka Kambi had a better tournament than him. And Mane had a better tournament.
I'll tell you what.
So there's already 3 winners.
I'll reason with you.
Go.
Because I've got 5 teams. I can't have 5 teams for the runners up. And of course, because I'm Egyptian, people start going. It's because you're Egyptian.
You got 5 players.
Yeah. So I'll take off Salah.
Yeah.
And I'll put in Moussa Barrow for Gambia.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
You have to.
That's fair. I think you could have put him in the 10 role.
Really?
Yeah, I think he dropped in a lot.
Okay, we could put Moses on the left, Mane on the right,
and
Moussa Barrow as a cap.
There we go.
Easy. We sorted.
We rectified the seal of the tournament. Let's go.
You got to take back the yellow card now.
Okay.
You got to do the VAR, yeah. And he's taking it off. There you go, and it's gone. Thank you very much.
No worries.
I can tell you do a little bit of refereeing on the side.
Yes. No worries. But nah, but my front 3 was obviously Tucker Kambi, Abu Bakr, and Mane.
I think that's very justified.